Okay, so as a kid, I had a little bit of an interesting childhood. My father was a psychologist. I spoke about this last year when it was his shloshim. My mother was a speech pathologist. They were both educators, amazing educators. And so the kinds of things I grew up hearing discussed in the house were not typical discussions. So like one of the things I grew up on, I was probably 5, 6, 7 years old tops when to me it was like a normal thing to discuss that of course we know, and don't get triggered by this name, Noam Chomsky, because in my childhood he was not a political pundit, he was a linguist. And linguistic nativism, that was something I knew about as a little kid. That of course, you know, Noam Chomsky was before he was a political pundit, he was originally made his name in linguistics. So his whole theory was on linguistic nativism, which basically nativism means it's inborn, that the capacity for language is innate, that it's part of your humanity. And he had a big machlekes with Skinner, and Skinner said that it's behavioral, and he said, and Chomsky said, no, it's native, it's just the way. Now he doesn't attribute it to a metaphysical source, but he says it's something it's not conscious or it's pre-conscious. At any rate, so a couple of years ago, I actually reached out to Chomsky. I sent him an email and I said, could we talk about Chasidic teachings and linguistic nativism? And he's like, okay, fine. So I actually I never posted it. We were talking about, I said, you know, as a little kid, I knew about Chomsky and Skinner. And I'm like, you know, my mother told me that Tanya says linguistic nativism is a real thing according to Torah. And he's like,
there's a chapter in Tanya. You might be surprised to hear this, but in my family, it's called the Chomsky chapter. And every year, when it's the day that we come to that chapter, usually I'll say to my mother, I say, oh, did you learn the Chomsky chapter? So what does it say over there? It speaks about how language comes from something he calls kadmus hasechel or kadmut hasechel, something that's precognitive. He says the capacity for language is just rooted deeper than cognition. One of his proofs for it is that he says nobody is consciously trying to make the manipulations of their mouth that they're making when they're producing those sounds.
That's quite right. In fact, that even by now we have pretty sophisticated evidence that it's not just the articulations, but even the forming of the thought in language, which we do in language, is not accessible to consciousness.
I said to him, you know, my mother loves the fact that human beings are called min hamadaber. And I said, and also my mother points out that in Bereshis, when it says that Adam, the first man, is given a living soul, a nefesh chaya, a living soul, the Targum Onkelos says a speaking soul.
When the description of the creation of Adam, and it says that he was given a living soul, a nefesh chaya. So the Onkelos Aramaic translation, which is going back to the 2nd century CE, calls that a ruach memalala, a speaking spirit. That's an astounding idea.
It is. I didn't know it was an Onkelos, but it finds its way into later Western philosophy. I'd like to see the reference in Onkelos. I'll be pretentious and cite it somewhere.
Okay, hold on a second. With the modern technology we possess, it's not hard at all.
Yeah.
1 second.
I'll have to.
No. You see it now?
Okay, where is
it? Okay, so if you look here.
I see, yeah.
Yeah, so verse.
I see 7. The verse. Yeah, I know the verse. Adam lenefesh chaya.
Nefesh chaya, a living soul. He calls it, right there, let me highlight it.
The ruach memala.
Which literally means a speaking spirit. And I'll tell you something interesting also.
And after I finished, I called my mother. I said, I just talked to Chomsky, and I told him that it was interesting because it wasn't like she was like shocked by it. She was like, yeah, that's, of course. And it was like sort of like a given that I would be talking to him and he would accept the whole theory and he would corroborate it. It wasn't just in general, that was, my mother was always very, very positive about our accomplishments, but like never shocked by it. It was like a given. Of course we do cool things. Of course. All right. So that's